And like Jesus said, every scribe in the kingdom of heaven can reach in his storehouse and take from the old and the new. So I'm a hybrid, but I'm an old school boy. And the best preparation, Padre Pio said that trust is the language of love. And every sin, and in case you say, oh, okay, because I could stand up here and I could help you make a brutal examination of conscience, where I might be able to come up with a couple things. Oh, I didn't know that was a sin. And I can do that for like an hour. I'm not going to do that today. I'm really not. But if I was going to do that today, I'd have to do it with the 10 Commandments. And sometimes, especially when you get nervous, and then, you know, you're so, the 10 Commandments, yes, there's 10. You know, well, how about number 5? Jump to 5. 5 and 6, those two you can't forget. 5 and 6, and even 6 rhymes with sex. That's that one. And then there's the other one, number 5. You got to leave them alive. You say, I didn't kill no one. I ain't done kill nobody. Or if you take this 6th commandment and it says, thou shalt not commit adultery, you say, okay, I cool, because I ain't married. You got to be married really to commit adultery, right? You have to have a wife or a husband. That's not what he means. Don't be messing with Jesus, because Jesus says, you look lustfully, you commit the sin. Hello? Hello? Yeah. So, you know, but the 10 Commandments, I mean, the traditional list of them, look at the first one. I am the Lord your God, you shall not have strange gods before me. Ay, 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 we can make idols out of everything. I can make an idol out of masala dosa. What's for breakfast? Cereal. No masala dosa? Oh. Nothing against masala dosa. And it can go from something as simple as that to like bad habits. And this can even go deep into the realm of addiction of all kinds. Addiction to shopping, addiction to complaining. You have addiction to drugs and to alcohol and to bad habits and patterns of behavior that involve your body, that involve your mind. People are addicted to thinking a certain kind of way. You know, like maybe your children are addicted to not putting things back. A gun is a gun and a bullet's a bullet. Yeah, there's silencer on the bullet. Don't make no noise. Just go. Instead of. That's aggression. Silencer on the gun is passive aggression. Baloney. Why? Just because it goes. Same bullet, same force, same infliction of evil. You know what evil is? Cardinal Ratzinger, before he became Pope Benedict, he's a genius. I love that. I love him. I love him. I mean, my greatest love as a son of the church is my great hero, our Saint JP2. He's my hero. I'm absolutely out of my mind. But boy, I be loving B16 Pope Benedict. I be loving that Ratzinger. And I be loving Papa Francesco. Think about it. The Jesuit Pope. That's apocalyptic. Jesuit Pope, never been before. And he come from Central America, uh-oh. And then he takes name Francis, and in Rome, they all think like, oh, we know who he's going to take, Francis Xavier, the great Jesuit missionary. Yeah, no. He said, io Francesco, che Francesco? What Francesco? Which one? He said, Assisi. He said, mamma mia. A Jesuit. He comes from Argentina, with a Bergoglio, with an Italian name, and then he takes the name Francesco. And what's even more amazing, as my friend Archbishop Capuchin Charles Chaput, the first Native American bishop in the United States, I think in the church, he's in Philadelphia now. He says, and he doesn't always agree with everything that the Pope says, but he loves the church. And he says, it's astounding that a man who becomes Pope and he takes the name of one of the most radical Christians in the history of the church and lives as if he means it. Our best preparation for confession is when we say and when I sing, I put my trust in you, I put my trust in you, Jesus, I put my trust in you. But then if I live as I mean it, I'm telling you, the sins are going to come out. You see those tissue boxes of tissue? You know the one where they're all folded nice. And when you pull one out, the next one's ready to go, right? Did you ever if you put your trust in Jesus, and when you go to confession, even when I'm not sure what I'm going to confess. And by the way, you can always say to the priest, bless me, Father, if I have sinned, I'm 10-pound fish. Excuse me. My last confession was 10 years ago, 5 years ago, 2 hours ago. Doesn't really matter. And you can say, please help me, I'm not sure. And when they say that, I say, okay, that's great. And then part of me is saying, like, are you kidding me? I says, been angry lately? And sometimes they try to do like confessional kung fu. Been angry lately? Well, my husband angry all the time. Hey, he's not here. And maybe he is angry all the time. Does that make you angry? Well, that's a deep subject there, sister. Or you might go to confession. You might say, oh, bless me, Father, I don't know what to say. I don't know what my sins. Okay. Because if we get stuck in ourselves, we wound up letting the wounds of non-love. Because that's what sin is. That's not only what sin does. Sin wounds us. But sins are wounds of non-love that need to be healed. So if you confess the same thing, I keep hitting this one. I keep hitting this one. Bless me, Father, for I have sinned. My last confession was 3 days ago, and 13 times I keep hitting this one. I want to stop. I try to stop. I try to stay away, and my hand just keeps hitting this thing here. And this, I need help. Okay? And then, you do your best. And you come up with different strategies. You pray for the grace to show me a new way. Jesus, make me new. Jesus, maybe let that go away. But if he takes that away, then you might start hitting the fan or something. You'll find something else to start hitting. And if the rest of your life, the repetition and the movement of a particular sin or a memory or something just won't go away, talk to St. Paul. Remember? He said, Jesus, he gave me like a thorn in the flesh, and he sent an angel of Satan to beat me. And I said to him, take it away, take it away, take it away. And what did Jesus say to him? It's one of my favorite lines in the New Testament. And Jesus said to him, Paul, my grace is enough for you, for my power is made perfect in weakness. And that's just touching on the first commandment, but I want to lay a foundation. See, because all of it, the trusting in him, the getting to know our sins so that we can give them to Jesus, so that Jesus can forgive and Jesus can heal, and we can set in motion this movement of turning away from life according to the flesh and turning towards life according to the Spirit. That's what St. Pope John Paul refers to as conversion, and I'll give you his definition. Best definition I ever heard of conversion, it comes from his own experience. It's one thing to be able to appreciate and to love to eat masala dosa, but just think if I learned how to make it and cook so I can feed others. That's what good preparation do. It don't say, I can't wait to go. You got masala dosa for me? Take me to Indian coffee house. I want to get masala dosa. Good for you. But then if I learn how to make it, so that I can feed somebody else, even if they don't like it. So you don't like it? Good. I eat it. Don't worry. I eat all masala dosa. And I find people who like it. And by the way, what do you like? You want toast with butter and jam? Or omelet or something? But it is everything, our trusting in Jesus and the fruit of our trusting in him and learning this language of love and trusting him, not only that he will forgive, because Jesus loves to do that, but when we can expose more of ourselves to him, even with greater detail. You know, it's one thing to go to say, bless me, Father, for I have sinned. Fifth commandment, I break it all the time. I get angry all the time. Okay, that's good. But imagine, bless me, Father, for I have sinned. I have a frequent problem with the fifth commandment. I get angry all the time. And since my last confession, I get angry when I drive. I get angry when my wife doesn't blah, blah, blah. When my husband doesn't blah, 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 blah. I get in and I get angry when I'm driving the car because they go beep, 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 beep. I want to kill them. That's much better. And then say, and not only, it's not just psychological catharsis, you know, where you release your frustration, you'll feel better. Well, you will. But it ain't just about feeling better. It's about getting better and being better. Because even when we don't feel good, we can do good. Matter of fact, Jesus on the cross, there he is. The greatest good that God has, the greatest good that God is, the greatest good that God does is love. And the greatest love is the gift and the sending and the revelation of his son Jesus. And then on the cross, the greatest act of love, Jesus said, there is no greater love than to that. And all of it is for love to be perfected. Even if we feel victims, and maybe we actually are in some circumstances, victims of circumstances, of wounds of non-love. And in those situations, even there, love can be perfected. Remember what Jesus said to Paul, and let him say it to you. My grace is enough for you, for my power is made perfect in weakness. It was in 2008, that's I guess about 10 years ago. It's kind of funny. I have a little office for Francesco Productions in the South Bronx, my little non-for-profit thing, you know, because we got CDs and books, and you can Google Father Stan, and you can look at the Facebook thing, and look at the pictures on Instagram, or look at the Twitter, and you can feed yourself spiritually, because I use that as a spiritual table. I don't say, well, maybe every once in a while I'll put a picture of masala dosa if I get a chance, you know. But it's a spiritual feeding table. And so the office for Francesco Productions is on the 3rd floor in the school building, which is next to the friary. My room is on the 4th floor. And I forget things, even when I write them down. A lot of times I write them down, I leave the list upstairs. So I walk down the 4 stairs, go across, go up the 3 stairs into the office, and I go, oh, I left the list upstairs. I go down the 3 flights, I go across the courtyard, I go up the 4 flights, and I say, oh, there's my list. I go down the 4 flights, I go over, I go up the 3 flights, and I say, oh my Jesus, I forgot the keys. So now I go down the 3 flights, and I take a look at the list and say, this is anything you forget? Who needs a gym? I don't need to go to the gym, I just be me. I keep forgetting, I keep walking. And so I go down the 3 flights, across the courtyard, up the 4 flights, get the keys, check and see if there's anything else, go down the 4 flights, go across the courtyard, go up the 3 flights, and as I'm walking to get ready to go up the 3 flights to go back to the office for now, the round trip, I don't know how many times it is, but that's a lot of stairs. These words came to me, and I started writing them down. And then after sitting with them and praying with them, I wound up getting this. The crown of thorns adorns, calls and warns, emptiness to fill with love that embraces all faces of tragic cases where people feel unwanted. The greatest poverty enriches you and me. Proofs given from eternity now, here to clear away fear, to be drawn near love's perfection, increasing protection from dark introspection, injecting luminous infection, igniting fire for desire to inspire, power perfected in weakness, the extreme humility of meekness, to ride the horse of my pride, crush it, and make me thirsty for mercy, flowing with torrential rivers, making generous givers with nuclear fission of love exploding, gives me the shivers, makes me shake like a human earthquake. This kind of love is hard to take, 'cause it makes me be who I am meant to be. Free to do what I am destined to do. Breakthrough. Attend to the love flowing from the crown of thorns that adorns, calls, and warns emptiness to fill with love, which embraces all faces of tragic cases where people feel unwanted. The greatest poverty enriches you and me eternally now, here, to clear away fear, to be drawn near love's perfection forever. Every time we prepare to go to confession. I'm going to give you the other 9 commandments, and then I'll pick something from my notes which I've completely ignored. So the first, I am the Lord your God. You shall not have strange gods before me, and all that idolatrous stuff. Second, you shall not take the name of the Lord your God in vain, and that means language, the way you talk to people. And Jesus said that the mouth speaks from the abundance of the heart, so your stinking speaking is terribly connected to your stinking thinking. And then take it to confession. Remember to keep the Lord's day holy. Number 3. Number 4, honor your father and your mother. And all relationships, all people, strangers, everybody. 5, you shall not kill. And you don't have to say, oh, I'm a good person, I don't kill nobody. I'd like to kill a couple people, I got a list. All right, I confess that. Say, bless me, Father, for I have sinned. My last confession was 3 days ago. And I was so angry all week, there was about 5 people. If I had a gun, I would have liked to kill them. Not really. You know what I say to God? Can we make a deal? Can you suspend 5th commandment? Just 30 seconds. That's all I need. Suspension of 5th commandment. Then I go, okay, put it back. Hurry up. It's not like that. But sometimes I feel like that. And when I do, I got to tell them. And so do you. And I got news for you. When I do, I'm good. And when I do, he takes my good to the better. He takes my better to the best. He gives me peace as I pour out myself without rest. Because he didn't come to make it easy. He came to make me great, to heal a world suffering with fear and to hate, so that he can fascinate me. And so that he can fascinate me as he forgives me and as he loves me. And not just me, but you. And not just you, but us. Number 6, you shall not commit adultery. Number 7, you shall not steal. Number 8, you shall not bear false witness against your neighbor. That's a lie. And then people say, well, it's just a small lie. Oh, really? Then some people say, it's white lie. Prejudice. What you got? Like a white lie, black lie, Asian lie, European lie, Indian lie. Just a small lie. Oh, and so on Judgment Day, Jesus is going to say, Okay, everybody who got 1 pound lie and let's go to the left. Everybody got 2 pound lie and up, go to the right. No. Just a little lie. If I say, I have a gun, it's only 22, small bullet. Small bullet. It's not a big gun. Small little bullet. It sounds like, I like that. You really? Number 9, you shall not covet your neighbor's wife. And that doesn't mean say, ha ha, that's the man, that's not for the women, stop it. Number 10, you shall not covet your neighbor's goods. So in conclusion, for you to make a good confession, for me to make a good confession, we have to put our trust in him. And you know, I'm going to make a recommendation for your examination of conscience. And I want to base it on something that Jesus said when he raised his buddy Lazarus from the dead. When Jesus was praying in John chapter 11, verse 41 and 42, chapter 11, verses 41 to 42. He prayed to the Father as he always did. Father, I thank you that you have heard me. I know that you always hear me. And he continues, but I said this for the benefit of the people standing here, that they may believe that you sent me. A good friend of mine is a great musician. He's a great drummer. He has 5 kids. And his wife, her great-grandma died. Her nickname was Gigi. And they brought me out. They live in Illinois, near Chicago. And they brought me out to do the funeral. And the great-grandma's name, the kids called her Gigi, for great-grandma. So when I was preaching and they were telling me stories about her, I took Gigi and I gave her another nickname. I said, Gigi, great-grandma. I said, Gigi, glory girl. And then after the Mass, my friend's wife, Risa, she gave a little testimony. And she said something amazing. And it fits right in with what Jesus said. And I'm going to leave you with this. For you, in your relationship with God, for you in your relationship with your spouses, children, family, in-laws, outlaws, in relationship with the things that we do, the things that we don't do, everything. You know what she said? And the greatest thing about her, Gigi, about her great-grandma, about Glory Girl, was how she listened. And Risa said the following, and I'll leave you with this. There is something very powerful in truly listening, because there is something very powerful in being heard. Brothers, become better listeners. Sisters, become better listeners. Father Stan, become a better listener. Jesus, please help us all to become better listeners. Through the intercession of Mother Mary, my seraphic father Francesco de Assisi, Saint Faustina, Saint Pope John Paul II, and my pal, the first Indian Saint Malabar Franciscan, Alfonso. Pray for us. Amen.